Do you find yourself stumbling as you take your first steps toward finding a higher power?
You know, a lot of people do, and we're going to talk about that today here on My Sober Truth. Well, it's June 24th, and it's time for another double shot of My Sober Truth. So I like this whole concept. Of course, it was titled today as Spiritual Kindergarten. And, you know, it just talks about taking those first steps towards living a spiritual life.
Right.
You know, and we know, and we've talked about this in your life, we talked about this in other people's lives, is that for a lot of people, it's this idea of faith, this idea of finding a higher power can be difficult.
Right.
It can cause some people to stumble early on. And
Right.
so you've shared this before, but, you know, dive in on this and share with me your insights about these first steps towards finding a higher power.
Well, you know, for me, it was, I was raised going to church, you know, and somewhere along the way, I started getting this really big resentment against religion. I thought the resentment was against God. Looking back on it now, that wasn't the case.
Right.
It was a falter in the way I thought about things.
Gotcha.
So when I first came into recovery, you know, I claimed to be atheistic. I don't think I really believed that I was in my heart. It's awful hard for me to walk outside and hear the birds chirping and see the wind blowing and go, this is all an accident. It's just tough for me to swallow that this is all an accident. So thinking that there was something bigger out there wasn't really that hard of a sell for me. Getting me to conform to religious standards was a much bigger deal. And I still fight on that. It's definitely a place I push back on.
Right.
I have a lot of questions. I believe I'm always going to have a lot of questions. So if you're out there and you're thinking that you may not be able to do this program because of your problems with religion, just know that these programs, these 12-step programs, the ones that I've been involved with, a lot of the ones that I've been involved with, they give you the room to figure out what you need to figure out for yourself.
I love the sentence from this line today. It says, I found out what worked for me, and I asked that power to restore me to sanity.
Right.
And I love that, what worked for me.
Right.
And I think that inclusivity in 12-step programs opens the door for so many people.
Right.
And so, but it also brings up another question that I want to ask you. In what ways, once you found your higher power, reconnected with your higher power, what ways did he help restore your sanity?
Well, it was a process, and I know we talk about this so much, but so much of this is a process. I didn't just walk in one day and, you know, a mirror on the wall moved and all of a sudden I believed.
Right.
It didn't happen that way for me. I know there are people out there that have these spiritual experiences, that things like that do happen. I've had lots of spiritual experiences, and I've questioned every one of them.
Right.
It's just my nature. It's what I do. I question everything. Just because I question them don't mean I don't believe that they were spiritual experiences.
Right.
It just means I don't know what the heck happened, and I still have questions. Mm-hmm. So what this really did to restore me to sanity, a faith in something out there bigger than me, allowed me the opportunity to understand that it's not all on me.
Right.
It's not all my fault.
Right.
And it's also not all my responsibility. And those kinds of thoughts started opening me up to, well, maybe there is a world that I haven't been able to live in. Because since I was a little kid, I felt like an outcast.
Right.
So what I really needed was a way to feel that I didn't feel like such an outcast. I would look at people that I've known since I was a kid, and I could not for the life of me figure out how in the world they had gotten to where they were, but yet I felt like I was still way below them.
Right.
I always felt like, you know, I can hold a conversation with anybody. I felt like I was fairly intelligent. As a matter of fact, for a lot of my life, I thought I was highly intelligent.
Right.
I had to find out that it's pretty average.
Okay.
I'm okay. I'm all right. I got what I need. God gave me what I needed. So that being said, my higher power has restored me to sanity in several ways. One, by helping me get a faith back in myself.
Right.
I do have the tools necessary to make a good life for myself.
Right.
And then the other thing is that belief and that knowing that there is something out there that's bigger than me has also brought me around to being able to have trust in other folks,
right.
which we have just talked about in very recent episodes. So once I started getting some trust in myself, I could start getting some trust in other people. My life really just kind of opened up.
Right.
And once I brush away all of the crap and I kind of get to see it, I'm able to see any situation for what it is. And I can move towards it. And what I've come to understand is that if I am moving towards something, trying with good intentions, especially when I'm really working, trying to help other people, I don't really have to worry about the results.
Exactly.
My higher power will take care of that.
Right.
And it's not always going to be in the way I expected,
right.
but it'll be taken care of.
If it's nothing more than taking the load off of your back,
Right.
that's a big thing to increase your sanity
Right.
level in life. And so as we wrap up, I'm going to pose the same question. Folks, tell me this. In what ways has your higher power helped to restore you to sanity? Think about the answer for a minute. Put your answer down in the comments below, and who knows, what you say just might improve somebody's journey today. And on that note, for My Sober Truth, I'm Mark.
Hey, and I'm Sean. And here's hoping that today you stay drunk with success. Love y'all. Thanks for watching. If you're ready for another round of My Sober Truth, then belly on up to mysobertruth.com and click on the double shot button today. There you'll find the daily inspiration, encouragement, and support that'll help you stay clean, on track, and growing in every area of your life. Be sure to subscribe to this channel, and if you got a minute, stick around, watch another video. Love y'all.